folks, here we are again. Episode 9 of the Apple Turnover Gang. I guess I'll start out with doing a little bit of catch-up. I know some people did mention Darkstone bullets. I had not used them last adventure, so I should have rolled for the corruption that they would get. Bechamel and Pete. And that's not a big thing to retroactively do, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So Bechamel, the bullets do not cause a corruption hit, and Pete, the bullets do not cause a corruption hit. So there you go. I appreciate everybody, pointing these things out. I do forget these things, and especially since I have forgotten to get the card printed up for the Darkstone bullets. I know, bad me, but that's how it is. So I've got that now. So hopefully we should be able to remember to use that. And so what? I guess that's everything to sort of start out with. I do plan probably next episode, the town episode. I'll give you a quick look at the character sheets, just to sort of remind you visually what has taken place since they've leveled up and gotten some additional items and things like that. I may go over the characters. We'll see how things go, but I think that'll be my plan for right now. Try to keep you guys up on everything. Let's see what else. Alright, well I think that is it as far as like upkeep goes for everything that's going on. So this mission is going to be it's going to be hunted. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to kind of move away from the basic ones just to get a little bit more out there as far as new things. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot put together still, and I apologize for that. I've been remiss in doing that. So getting the models together. So this isn't going to be new, but it's certainly not one of the basic ones. We're going to do from the Kickstarter rule sheet collection, from the Void Magus Masters of the Void Deluxe Pack. We're still going to keep it a little bit simple for right now. We're going to do Hunted, the first mission of the Masters of the Void mission here. And as you sit in the campsite on the side of the trail, you can't shake the feeling that you are not alone. Something is out there in the darkness, watching, waiting, salivating at the thought of tearing you apart and feasting on your soul. Somehow you've attracted the attention of a pack of void hounds stalking you from the ether. If you can't find some way to drive them off, they'll keep hunting you. You have to sleep sometime. So, we'll start with this, then we'll do Void Magus probably the next time, the second mission, where we actually face, the Call of the Void, face the actual Void Magus. And then, hopefully I should have things like the Sand Kraken, or some of the new stuff, maybe some of the werewolves, or some of the mission pack things, or maybe I'll do Tradara or derelict ship. Depends on kind of how ambitious I get. I do have a busy week next week with relatives coming in out of town, so I don't know how much time. But said by planning on doing the next mission is the second one, the Call of the Void. That does push me out a little bit to give me a little bit more time to get at least some models put together for you all, so that I can actually show you some new content with some of the Wave 2 type stuff, rather than kind of the things that we've already done. And of course it'll be a new experience for me, having not actually played the majority of these scenarios as well. So that will be interesting. So, but here we are at hunting. So we set up on the mine entrance as normal. The goal is to find an occult book that holds the key to driving off the Void Hound pack that hunts you. So you have to keep track of the number of encounter cards overcome during the adventure. Alternately, if you kill enough Void Hounds from the pack, you may be able to draw out the Void Hound Alpha and defeat it, breaking the will of the rest of the pack to continue the chase. So we're also going to keep track of the number of Void Hounds killed during the adventure. So special rules, immediate dread, so growing dread cards will be immediately played. Hunted by Void Hounds. Rule, whenever you would draw a darkness, growing dread, or threat card during the adventure, roll a d6. On a 1, 2, or 3, you are ambushed attacked by Void Hounds instead. So 3 to 4 heroes is going to be a d3 Void Hounds. And they will generate loot. Okay, so that's, I will need to remember that, so cross your fingers that I will remember that for darkness, growing dread, and threat. 50% chance of getting hounds instead. And there it's an ambush. Okay, an objective is finding the book. To find the occult book with the incantation, you must collect at least 5 encounter cards, any mix of mine and otherworld, that you have overcome. Encounters that are cancelled do not count, nor do any that remain in play. When the last encounter is collected, then you defeat any enemies to collect the book, successfully completing the mission. Or luring out the Alpha. To lure out the Alpha, you must kill enough Void Hounds throughout the course of the adventure. The number is based on the heroes and the posse level. So we have 3 heroes, so it's posse level plus 6. Our posse level is 2, so 8. If we kill 8 Void Hounds, at the start of the next turn, we place 1 new Void Hound. It's the Alpha. And the Alpha has triple health plus 1 damage to its combat hits, and critical hits only reduce its defense in half. And then as soon as the Alpha is killed, all other enemies retreat and the mission is successful. Reward, each hero can draw an extra loot card and gains plus 1 health permanently. If the mission's failed, every hero is plagued with lasting nightmares from being hunted. Rolls once on the madness chart. Ooh, ouch. Okay. That is the goal. So let us get going. Doc has the lantern and the good lantern. So let's hold back the darkness. An 8 is good. So Bechamel is rolling to move. She gets a big 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's not going to scavenge. Doc gets to move 2. And Pete gets to move 2. Alright. Starting off big. Bechamel, or Doc holding back the darkness. A 9 is still good. So Bechamel rolling to move. Can we get a 1? We cannot. But that's okay. She will go ahead and step forward and look through. Let's see what we get. We get an underground lake. Alright. Got the lake there. You guys see all of that? Yeah, pretty darn good. Alright. And then we get a exploration token. That's it for Bechamel. So Doc, gonna head charge in. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's gonna step right in front. You know what? He'll go next to Bechamel. And then Pete will move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's good. So let's see what we get here. We get 1 exit and an encounter. Well, there's only 1 exit anyway. So we have an encounter. Which is a plague of frogs. The sound of rivets is deafening as they leap past you in a tidal wave of slimy, jumping, mindless madness. Getting everywhere and into everything before the swarm passes you by. Every hero counts as carrying 1 extra side bag token and 1 extra weight until the end of the adventure as the frogs get into your bags, pockets, and clothing. That puts you over your limit of either you must discard down to your carrying limit as normal. You cannot discard the frogs. Interesting. This is not a remains in play, but it feels like it should be considered a remains in play. But it's not, technically. So I guess this would be one encountered, completed, whatever. We don't have, nobody's at any of their limits. Certainly not for weight of gear. And we do have close to side bags. We have, actually, I take that back. No, that's right. So we've got 2 bandages and a whiskey on Bechamel and Pete in the side bag. We've got 3 bandages and a whiskey in the side bag of Doc, and then Doc has his doctor bag, which has 3 bandage tokens. So nobody's actually at 5 side bags. So they all actually have 1 space, if not more. Actually, Bechamel and Pete have 2 spaces in their side bags, because remember, we can hold 5. So we just have to remember we can't gain anything more per se. Well, Doc can't. So we have to remember his limit is 4, or everybody's limit is 4. All right. Well, so that is 1 down for encounter tokens, or encounter cards, I should say. So we need at least 5 encounter cards, and that is the first one. So that is it. So let's go ahead and hold back the darkness. An 11 will certainly hold back the darkness. So let's go ahead and move. Bechamel moves a big 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excuse my reach. Doc moves a big 6 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Pete, probably slowpoke. Yep. Goes 1, 2. And you know what? He's going to spend his grit to move, because he's got a chance of getting an additional grit each turn anyway. So he's going to get 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. That'll let him catch up for next turn. So let's hold back the darkness again. A 6, 7, 8 is good. So Bechamel is going to move 3. And I'm going to go ahead and shift this over, because we know where we're going. And we know where we've been. Shift this back this way, folks. In fact, I'm even going to turn it. And just for now, kind of close that off, because we know that's the direction that we came from. So Bechamel can move 3, so she's going to go 1, 2, 3, and she'll go ahead and look through. See what we got. We got a summoning chamber. Okay, put this down. Make sure everybody can see that. Yeah, that's still pretty good. Shift it just a smidge, and the box is not quite on there. There you go. All right. So that was Bechamel. Oh, we need an encounter token. We don't know what it is, our exploration token. And then it will be Doc's turn. He gets to move a big 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Pete moves 4 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and he needs to roll. Start of each turn, if he has no grit, he can recover 1 on a d6 roll of 4+, and he does succeed in regaining that 1 grit that he spent. Perfect. So let's see. What do? We reveal the exploration token. Alright, there's 1 exit. It is a gate, unfortunately. You know how I feel about other worlds. And an encounter. So that's unfortunate, in my opinion. I mean, again, other worlds are fun. It's just tough for me as a solo player. Just personally, as a solo player, trying to keep track of what the other world special ability and everything. I don't know what it is, but it's just difficult, which makes me leery of going there. But obviously, if I must, I must. But the encounter card we have is a Bandit's Lair. Crates of stolen goods and a few bedrolls line the walls. Well, a pile of crumpled wanted posters litter the place. Each hero may take one corruption hit to break open a crate and pilfer the stolen goods, making a strength 4+ test. If passed, you can take a side bag token. Well, we're already kind of limited to a side bag token, so I'm going to ignore that. And there's 2 of our 5 down. Oh, and sorry, we need to figure out which direction is the gate. The gate is to the left. So we need to place a gate to the left. Okay, and block that off there. Alright, well, let's hold back the darkness. You know what? I think I'm going to actually start using the special lantern. I would rather not get darkness cards and get attacked by void hounds. At this point, since we've already got two encounter cards, I think I want to try to get to the book beforehand, so let's try to avoid having the darkness move. So, double 6s. Well, that gives everybody a grit, because that is a 12. However, it does cause 1 horror hit on Bechamel, who takes a point of sanity. It does take a hit on Pete, who saves that. And then Doc takes a D6 horror hits, so he's going to take 3. Saves on 3+, and he has, I believe he has the spirit armor. Didn't we give him that spirit? Oh no, yeah. And he has the, or actually we still have Bechamel has the spirit armor. So, just for everybody who doesn't remember, the group does have this Void Lantern, which lets us roll 2 paralyzed to hold back the darkness. If those are rolled, you also take a D6 horror hits, and every other hero takes 1 horror hit. So, there you go. That was holding back the darkness, so let's go ahead and roll the move. Bechamel, move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. And then, sure, she'll go ahead and look through. Alright, folks. And I drew the Caverns of Cinder. So, I need to try to keep track of swapping out clothing. And figure out what clothing items the people actually have. Heroes are +1 max grit. And then the location we have is the statue chamber. So let's go ahead and place that down real quick. So we come in over here. Yeah, Bechamel's still there. Can you guys see all that? Bechamel's almost off the table. Yeah, that's about the best we're going to get. I guess I can go a little bit more. Yeah, okay. I like that. That looks pretty good for now. Make sure we get the box. Okay. So there is the statue chamber. Let's move Doc, who can move 2, so 1, 2, and Pete gets to move 2 as well. So now let's do a quick rundown of clothing items so we don't forget. So, Pete. Does Pete have any clothing? He has a canteen, which is gear in a container. He has the lasso. He has the bandana, which is clothing. Escape test. So I'm not going to even worry about that for him. So where's him? He's not equipping that at all. I won't worry about that. So that is his only clothing. Doc, Does Doc have anything that's clothing? He's got the Holy Charm, which is gear charm holy. He's got the Holy Book. He's got a pipe. He's got the Void Ring. He's got the Plasma Sword. He's got the Void Lantern. He's got the Doctor's Bag. So he has no clothing. Bechamel has gold teeth. She has the Looking Glass. She has her breaching gun. She has the Void Catcher. She has the Dusty Poncho. She has the Totem of Dinar, which is the Spirit Armor. And she has the Lucky Hat. So she has 2 pieces of clothing, which is the Lucky Hat and the Dusty Poncho. So, she is not going to use the poncho. There's no weather effects here. And she's not going to use the Lucky Hat, which is going to be unfortunate. That's +1 luck. And once her adventure, she can reroll any 1 die. She may have to put that on at some point. But we're going to assume she doesn't have either one of those for now. I think that's going to be the safest thing. Oh, Doc has the rough-skin gloves, which even though they are a personal item, they are a clothing item. So he is actually going to be taking some wounds if we're going to get into a fight. So we'll assume, obviously, when there's not a fight round, but when there is a fight round, he will want to definitely put those on. Bechamel may want to put the Lucky Hat on at some point, but probably unlikely unless it's the final fight. I think Doc is always going to want to put his gloves on. For that, once per turn, reroll a melee to hit roll. So, what else can we do here? Oh, that was it. So, let's hold back the darkness. Doc's going to do it again. Remember, we're going to go ahead and use that Void Lantern. A 10 will succeed. Perfect. So Bechamel will go ahead and yeah, let's go ahead and step in. Let's assume we're going to be enough. She's actually just going to step 1. And let's get our exploration token. Doc gets to move a big 6. So he's actually going to step in all the way. Try to relieve room for Pete. Pete can move 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So everybody is in the other world. In Cinder, I'm going to go ahead and pull this stuff up. No need to go backwards at all. Alright, and let's go ahead and kind of center this now so that everybody can see what we're doing. There we are, pretty good. Alright, let's see what we get. We have, 1 exit and 2 encounters. Alright, so which direction is the exit? The exit is to the left, so we will go ahead and close that off and that off. And I am not going to jinx it by talking about things that I shouldn't talk about, otherwise I will jinx it. But 2 more encounter cards. That's all I'm going to say regarding that. And we already have 2. So let's see what we got. These are Cinder encounters. Now, you remember my other series with Joseph Scott's and Annabelle later on. We did not spend a lot of time in Cinder. Again, simply partly because I tried to avoid other worlds, and also just because Cinder's kind of a pain in the butt because of the clothing, right? Keeping track of the clothing. So, this will all be kind of new, probably, because I haven't spent much time in Cinder. So, first is, I should also mention, and I completely forgot, this is Cinder. So, this is actually a lava tile. It is a 2+. So he does need to make a test for that. So those unfamiliar with Cinder and lava, they've got this card here for lava spaces. So basically, they have a yellow glow around them. It's going to be kind of hard to see on from here. But there are some on this map tile. Most of the cinder map tiles have them. When a hero enters a lava space on a map tile, he must immediately roll a d6 or 2d6 and choose if agility 4 or higher. If the roll is equal to or greater than the number printed on the space, the hero is fine, is safe. If not, then the hero takes a d3 burning markers. And only no test if you start in a lava space, and enemies do not test. So, that is Pete. Doc there. He has an agility of 2, so he gets 1 die. This space right here is a 2+ that he went into. There's a 5+ here, a 4+ here, 2+, and 2+. So it's kind of, there is a little path there. And he gets a 4, so he is safe. Doesn't fall into the lava. But that is something we will need to keep in mind as we move. And that is for each one that we go into. So anyway, the first encounter here is a lake of fire. So turning on the far end of the chamber is a rolling lake of liquid magma. It is difficult to even look at without your eyes watering from the blistering heat. All burning markers on this map tile do +1 damage. Something emerges from the lake of fire. One hero makes a Spirit 6+ test. If successful, each hero can collect D3 liquid Darkstone from the surface of the lake. Treat these as Darkstone. If failed, they are attacked. Draw a threat. And it is a remains in play. So just for the burning markers. So that is unfortunate. That does not actually count. So Doc has a Spirit of 4. So we will choose him to make the Spirit 6+ test. And he succeeds. So each hero can get a D3 liquid Darkstone. So let's go ahead and see. So Bechamel picks up 2 Darkstone, essentially. Then we have Doc picks up 1. Pete picks up 2. Might as well, we can sell it. And the second encounter is invisible hellhounds. The way forward is blocked by the vicious barking and snarling from a seemingly invisible pack of hellhounds. You can see claw marks dig into the ashen floor at your feet and feel the hot breath of the beasts. Everybody makes a Spirit 6+ test. If successful, you're able to push past them. Without more than a few scratches, gain 20 experience. If failed, the invisible hounds tear and claw at you mercilessly, smelling the evil within you. Take 2 wounds for each corruption point you currently have. 3 for each mutation, ignoring defense. Well, nobody has a mutation, and Pete's the only one with corruption right now. So, but we will see. So, Bechamel has a 2 Spirit, so... actually, does she have a 2 Spirit, or does she have 1? She only has 1 Spirit. That's right, because we gave the Void Ring to Doc. So Bechamel fails. So she's going to take... she takes nothing, though, because she has no corruption. Okay. Doc, I guess it doesn't matter. Doc doesn't have any corruption. So Pete is the only one. Pete has a 2 Spirit. Need a 6+. He would fail and take 4 points. He'll go ahead and do that. He'll take the 4 points. I'm not that concerned. He's got 21. All right, that is 1 more down. All right, so we had 3 at 5. Woo! All right, and that was 2 encounters. So hold back the darkness. Again, we're going to use the Void Lantern. An 8. That is a fail because that is double 4s. Does not push the track, though. That is the important thing. So double 4s in Caverns of Cinder for the depth event. Fires of Cinder. Each hero takes a D3 burning markers and 1 corruption point, ignoring willpower. So, corruption point, and corruption point. That is all kind of icky. Not sure what we'll do about that. Too many corruption points in my book. Alright, and then a D3 burning markers. So Bechamel takes 1 burning marker. Doc takes 3 burning markers. And Pete takes 1 burning marker. Now, for those who don't know, each burning marker, basically at the start of the activation, you remove a burning marker and you suffer 2 wounds, ignoring defense. So, that is what burning markers do. So, that's essentially 6 wounds on Doc, but it's going to be over the course of 3 turns. But that did, prevent, the darkness did not move. So we are still on, 0 there. We're getting along. All right, so it is the start. So Bechamel removes her burning marker and suffers 2 wounds for her 1 burning marker, and then she gets to move. The downside is she is kind of blocked by. Actually, you know what? Technically, Doc can go first because he has the plasma sword, which is +1 initiative. So he can actually go before Bechamel. So actually, let's do that first. We'll let him go first. So Doc will take his 2 from losing for 1 of his 3. And he did have some wounds from the start of the last, from town. So he's up to 5 now. And then Doc will move. So roll the move. Doc can move 2. That's going to be good enough. So he's going to move here, and that is a 2+. Oh, and burning markers in this room do an extra point of damage. Got to remember that. 2+ for his agility, and that is fine. And then he will go 2 to there. And then Bechamel. So she took her 3 points of damage, 3 wounds, for her 1 burning marker. And then she gets to roll to move. She moves a big 2. She does have a 3 initiative. I think she will actually spend, because I don't want Pete to get stuck, right? She's going to go ahead and spend 1 of her 2 grits to add another die to movement. Boom. So she can move to big. So she has to make a 2 or better there. She fails. She's going to spend a fortune to make a luck test. 5+. To try to pump that up by 1. She fails. Crap. Alright. Is it worth, that's what a D3 a D3 more burning markers, huh? Yeah, that could be crappy. Sure, she'll spend a grit to re-roll her luck test. She got it. So that makes that 1 into a 2, so she succeeded that. She does have to go here, which is going to be another 2+, which she succeeds. And then she will go ahead and actually come and look through, and let's see what she gets. Okay, we find a corner passage, which is unfortunate. No exploration token. Which direction is it? 1, 2, 3. So it goes to the left. So she can't actually move farther. So she was here, so she went 1, 2, 3, 4. She had like 1 more. Anyway, that's good enough, I think. Make sure everybody's on there. Alright. And then Pete. So Pete removes his burning marker. Takes 3 wounds. what does that give us? He's at 7 wounds, so he could probably do with some healing from Doc, but he gets to... Alright folks, I apologize. There's a little bit of a skip here, a little bit of a jump here. Had a little bit of a camera issue. You didn't miss much of anything. Simply put, you know, the heroes started moving, and that's really, they spent 1 turn. Doc actually hasn't even finished. I don't remember if Pete had moved way up here. I think you had seen him move up there after the corner, but maybe not. Bechamel essentially just moved up there. We successfully held back the darkness. So Bechamel had rolled a big 6 to move. She'd come around and looked through, and that's really all that was there. And we find a lava bridge map tile. So the lava bridge kind of goes like that. I don't know what the best way is to take a look at that and try to get everybody on. That's pretty good. Pretty good for now, yeah. All right. We need an exploration token, and that was Bechamel. So Doc gets to move. He only rolled a 1, which is unfortunate. Does get him a grit, which he can't use. So he's going to go ahead and obviously roll another die and add it in the box. Would be good. So he gets to do 4 more. So he will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and he takes. He did start on that tile, so he does take 3 more wounds, and then he will spend a bandages to heal a D6 plus 3. So 6 and 3 is 9. Which is exactly what he has. Nice. And that was Doc's turn. We do have to be careful. There's lava here, and there's 2 lava spaces there, and they're like all 6+ lava spaces, which is nasty. And then it is Pete's turn. So Pete rolls to move, and he gets a 6. He's just going to move the 1. Alright, let's see what we get in this room. We have 1 exit, which is a gate, and we are attacked. Alright, which direction is the gate? The gate is straight ahead. Alright. And let's block off these other spaces here. And now, so if we would draw a threat card, we need to see if they are Void Hounds. So roll a d6. 1, 2, or 3. They are Void Hounds. They are Void Hounds. So we're not drawing a card. We are getting Void Hounds, and that is for 3 heroes. 3 to 4 heroes is a D3 Void Hounds. So we are running into 3 Void Hounds. Alright, let's arrange this a little bit better here. Make sure everything can be seen. Yep, okay. Although I think I want to keep the dice somewhat close to me. Can we still see all the heroes? Yep, and the dice box. Great. And I will point out that one of the reasons why I was kind of pushing / hoping that we win this by encounters, not because I want to cheat you guys from fighting Void Hounds or other creatures, is that I have never seen this particular mission. I have seen it a couple times, and I've played it, once or twice with my regular group, and obviously with Joseph. That I've never actually seen it won by doing the 5 encounters. It's always been beating up the Void Hounds, because there's always Void Hounds. So, and this is 3 of our, let's see, we have 3 heroes, posse level plus 6, so 8 Void Hounds. This is 3 of our 8 Void Hounds. So this is going to be half of the Void, or a third of the Void Hounds to kill. You know, 2 more encounters like this, and you know, that brings out the alpha. And said, I've never seen it won without facing the alpha. So, you know, I was kind of hoping to be a little bit different. Although, as I said, that would kind of cheat you of some fights, I guess. The Void Hounds automatically start in the ambush. So, there is that. We forgot about that. So we start there. They are laying in wait. And each hero will take 3 horror hits at the start of the turn at which the Void Hounds appear. They're phasing, so their defense is equal to the current initiative level in the turn order. And they can move through other models. And pack attack at the start of the Void Hound activation. Roll a d6 on a 1 or 2. All Void Hounds change targets. And on a 6, all Void Hounds retarget to a single hero. And they are initiative 7. So, let us 9 obviously on the first turn. So let's hold back the darkness. Again, we're going to use the Void Lantern. A 9 is good. And in fact, I don't really think we're going anywhere. So I actually can kind of... Probably, I think we're just gonna mesh. Doc might actually run through to the other side. We will have to see. But we can kind of zoom in just a smidge and get a little bit more close up into the action. For now, I just have to remember to put it back. So let's see what happens to the Void Hound. So at the start of the turn, actually, everybody takes 3 hits, horror hits. So Bechamel. She fails all 3, but she does have the Spirit Armor 4+, and she blocks all 3 with the Spirit Armor. Good. Doc takes 3 hits. He has a 3+, he saves. And Pete fails once. He's going to take 1 point of sanity damage. Great. Doc gains a grit. He can't, he's already maxed out. Let's see what else. Anything else at the start? Okay, so at the start of the turn is, which is their activation. But it's after the initial ambush. So, the turn after the initial ambush. Well, actually... Yeah, so next turn is when they'll start changing around. So let's start. There's 1 on each. They have 6 dice. Hitting on 3s, doing 1 point of damage each. They are 5 health. So on Bechamel, ouch, 5 hits. Okay. Bechamel rolls her 5 defense. She fails 2, so she's going to take 2 wounds. This is still not too horrible. She's up to 5 wounds now. Okay, 5 on Doc. 6 should have 6 dice, so 5 hits as well. So he only blocks 2, so he takes 3. And then Pete. Pete has only hit 4 times, so he gets his defense. Ooh, but he fails 3. But that's all right. He can take 3 wounds. Although he is a little bit hurt. And in fact, I think right now, so Pete has 10 wounds. Doc's actually going to go ahead and spend another bandages to heal 7 on Pete. And that's it for the Void Hounds. So it is the hero's turn. So we'll start with Bechamel. So they are now defense of 5 because of the Void phasing. So Bechamel is going to shoot with her first roll to move. She does not get a grit. She's kind of stuck there. I'm going to shoot. Double 3s. That is going to suck. She'll spend her 1 grit. There you go. A 6 and a 7. So nice. These new dice that my wife got me at Gen Con. So I told her how horrible my dice were, and that people had suggested I get new dice, and so she went and got me some new D8s. Anyway, though, that is, and hopefully you can see them pretty well. I didn't even think about, she didn't think about how well they would be seen through the camera under the lights. Hopefully they're legible enough. But a 6 and a 7, so good. So she has to shoot. Well, all 3 of them are adjacent to her. But she's going to shoot the one that's currently targeting her first. They are not immune to criticals. So they have 5 health. She is a D8 plus 1 because it is a critical hit. So a 6 plus 1 is 7, and that will, in fact, kill one of the Void Hounds. Let me make sure I'm not missing something. Yep, that's it. Yeah, they're not. Thought I had read. Maybe I was looking at somebody else. Yeah, must be. All right. So yeah, the critical. So she's gonna critical. She'll critical him. 3 plus 1 is 4, and that is actually not enough to kill him, and it's not worth changing that. Does stun him, so he is -1 defense. And that is Doc's turn. So Doc will roll to move. Oops. Let's get in the box. A 2. Well, not much he's going to do. So he's going to just go ahead and swing at the guy next to him. 2 dice. 3 dice. So +1 combat. 2 hits and a critical, and he gets a free reroll. Again, we're going to do the gloves. Oh, so he takes 2 points. He had his 1 last burning marker. He's going to take 2 wounds. Okay, that puts him to 5 wounds total. And then, because he's in cinder and he's wearing the gloves, remember I said in combat he was going to equip the gloves. He then takes 1 hit, which he has to save against defense. He does. Okay. So now he gets his reroll. Misses. Alright, so 2 hits, 1 of which is a critical. And he is a D8 because of the lightsaber. So, the critical is 8. So that is enough to kill him. Alright. And then it is to Pete. So Pete rolls to move. A 2. Well, he might as well, you know what, he's not even going to worry about trying to escape. And he's going to shoot. He's just going to use the Fallen Gunfighter's pistol for 3 dice. Let's hope we can get a critical. He does not. He will spend a grit, though, to re-roll the 2 misses. And there's a critical. And you know what? He's going to go ahead and use his lasso, because it's once per fight. And this is the fight, so it is -2 defense. This is initiative 3, so its defense is a 3 -2. He's only got a 1 defense. So here's the damage for the critical, is 6. So that didn't really matter whether or not he did the lasso. Oh, and their new skills. I completely forgot. Bechamel has on a roll. Whenever you kill an enemy, you can recover a fortune token. She killed 1 enemy, so she regains the 1 fortune she spent earlier. Doc, not that it mattered, when he kills an enemy with a combat hit, he can recover grit on a d6 roll of 4+. So, but he's already at max grit. And then Pete, anytime he ropes an enemy, he gains 10 experience and can recover a grit. So, he did use a grit, and then he did the rope. I guess, actually, technically he used the rope before he used the grit. Yeah, because I don't know, can he use... It says, at any time. So... But normally... Well, I didn't roll damage. So, I lassoed him after I re-rolled to hit, but before I rolled damage. So I used the grit, so he gets to make a 4+ roll to try to recover that grit he spent, which failed. Didn't really matter anyway. But that is enough to beat up that Void Hound. Get the lasso back. Take off those wounds and the stun marker. Nice! Alright, everybody. So everybody gets to catch their breath. So Bechamel recovers. If I can get that in the box. 2, excuse the reach. And she will take that off of... you know what? She's going to take the 1 sanity and 1 wound, since we've got a lot more that can heal wounds. Doc recovers 1. And then Pete recovers 1. Not very much in the way of catching your breath. And again, he'll take off his point of sanity damage that he took. Alright. And then we have loot cards. Alright, Bechamel gets a gear card. Doc gets $50. And Pete gets a d6 times 50. Ooh, a 6. So, 300. That's pretty snazzy. Alright, and now we need to see what the gear card is that Bechamel gets. She draws a Jack of Hearts. +1 luck. Anytime you draw nothing here scavenge, gain $25. Alright, well, again, I still scavenge, but hey, the extra luck, it does weigh a little bit. You do have to consider she doesn't have a lot of strength, but she's still doing alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so this is 5, and she's got a strength of 2. So that means she can hold 7. We are -1. So she is at her max right now. Because of the frogs, the stupid frogs, she can always give somebody the poncho or something. Or the spirit armor, or the void catcher, something like that. One of those things that weighs some that she's not using a lot for. Alright, but nice, because she can always use that extra luck for her fortune, for her gambling tricks. Woo, alright. Enough of that. Alright, so a gate back to the mines. Huzzah. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but I am certainly just going to say that is what's going on. And then I don't have to deal with lava and as many burning tokens and, clothing. Equipping and unequipping clothing. So, let's hold back the darkness. A 9 is still good. So, Bechamel will move. She can move 6. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doc can move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Pete can move 2. 1, 2. He will spend his last grit to add a d6. And he can move another 2. 1, 2. I think that's worth it. So let's hold back the darkness again. An 11 is good. Roll to move. Bechamel. Oops, in the box. A 2. That's enough to go 1, 2. And let's look through and see what we find. Alright, we find a... Oops. I should show you the card, not the tile. I don't know what I was thinking. We found the campsite. Sorry about that, folks. Not sure. Excuse my reach as I tear apart the board a little bit here. And try to get stuff set up. But we find the campsite. Coming in. Go ahead and kind of put it that way. Make sure that's on. That is not on the table. Oh yeah, we should zoom back out, right? Because we're not fighting. We need to get in a little bit closer. So let's go ahead and put that like that for now. There you go. So that is what we see. Campsite. Doc will roll to move. He can move 2, 1, 2. He'll go ahead and go in. Let's get ourselves an exploration token. And then let's see what Pete can do. Pete's going to roll to move. Oh, sorry. He needs to roll to see at the start of his turn if he gets a grit. A 4 or better, he gets a grit. And then he rolls for his move. A 2. You know what? He'll spend that grit to try to move farther. He gets a 4, so he'll actually come there. So if that's an attack, he will be able to move in. In fact, you know what? He will actually go ahead and go there. He's got more hit points than Bechamel does anyway. Although not by a lot. Alright, so what do we have? We have 1 exit and an encounter. Ooh, getting close. Alright, so the exit is in direction to the left. So we'll close that off. And then let us see what the encounter is. Again, this is a mine encounter. It is unfortunate that the cinder had the void hounds and not one of the cinder enemies, although admittedly I do not have the succubi put together, so that is not an option for enemies to face at this point. But let's see. Encounter. A mine encounter. This is called The Chain of Mephistopheles, and there's a whole messload of text, and I'll leave this here for just a moment, and then I'll have to pull this away to read it. I apologize, everybody. Alright, so it says, at the far end of the chamber stands a tall set of iron doors with a thick chain draping onto the floor and running along the ground to the center of the room. Don't pull the chain! Select one random exit of this room to be the iron doors, although there's only one there. So there are doors here, and it says place an end cap there, but I don't know that I want to do that just because I don't want to forget that that's where the doors are, but okay. Any hero can pull the chain, making the following test. Heroes with 1 or more corruption points must pull the chain. Well, everybody has 1 or more corruption points. It is a strength 6+ test. For every 6+ rolled, add a sanity marker to the iron doors and draw a loot card. For every 1 or 2, take a corruption hit. After all heroes pulling the chain have made the test, if there are sanity markers on the iron doors equal to or greater than 2 times the number of heroes in the posse, the doors open. And place a gate. Good lord, another gate. Alright. If not yet, all heroes that made the test do so again until the doors open. Okay, well, it does give us lots of loot, I guess. Alright, well, we start with Bechamel. Bechamel must do it. She has 2 strength. It is a 6+. She fails, but she did not roll any 1s or 2s. Doc has a strength of 3. Let me make sure there's nothing else that he adds. Nope. He just has 3. There's a 1 and a 6, so that's fine. So there's 1 on the gate. He did roll a 1, so that means he's going to take a corruption hit. So let's see if he saves against the corruption hit. He does. And he gets to draw a loot card. So that's going to be good. And that gets him $250. So hey, I will take that. Let's see what else. Then it is Pete's turn. And Pete has a strength of 4. Make sure I'm not missing anything. No, he's got bonuses to agility. So a 4 strength. He gets 2 successes. Great. We're halfway there in 1 turn. He does take 1 corruption hit, which he fails. So he will take another corruption point. So he is up to 4. Yeah, alright. Oh, yeah, okay, so that was it. Alright, so hold back the darkness. That was that turn. So an 8 is still good. Bechamel rolled a move, or sorry, Doc is going to move first. And a big 6, so he'll go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll hang out there for when the gate opens. And then he needs to roll to attempt to pull the chain. I guess, it doesn't say use their turn, but any heroes may pull the chain making the following test. Heroes with more corruption. So it doesn't say it uses their turn. Maybe I shouldn't have done any pulling that first one. Normally, obviously, when you have an encounter, you do everything there. So I don't know if you get an initial attempt during the encounter phase, or if that's supposed to be their turn. I think it's because I think it's supposed to be they use their turn. So I'm actually going to say this is the turn where all of this stuff happens. So Bechamel can move 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then she did her attempt to pull. And then Pete goes 1, 2, 3, and then he does his pulling. Alright, so that's what I'm saying. So that's where that goes. Rather than giving them that sort of free one during the encounter, the resolution of the encounter card. So let's hold back the darkness again. An 8 is still good. Now if we move through another room, we are moving down to the 8+ in the depth track. So let's start with Bechamel. She must attempt with 2 dice. For every 6, she did get a 2, so she takes a corruption hit. She fails. She gets her 4+ spirit armor, which succeeds. Doc has 3 dice. He gets another 1, so that is 4. He did get a roll a 1, however. So his corruption hit, he saves. And that does give him a loot card. Oh, yeah, hold on, I forgot. 3... I needed 2 more loot, or 3 more loot cards. 2 more loot cards for Pete last turn, since he had 2 6s. So anyway, so here's the one for Doc, and he gets to draw an artifact. And then let's do the 2 for Pete, and that's going to be another 125. Okay. let's see, what else can we do? Oh, we need the artifact. So hold on. Okay, I drew the mines, and we found the Ring of Tarkul. +1 cunning, once per adventure, recover 1 grit. Hey, let's give it to Bechamel, since she likes to get grit. Grit equals fortune. At some point, Doc will probably get it for the cunning, but he doesn't really need it right now. So, and Bechamel could certainly use more cunning simply for gambling later on in town as well. Oh, and then it's Pete's turn. Oh, you know, he has no grit, so does he recover grit? He does recover grit. Then he rolls for his movement. He does not get anything. In fact, Bechamel needed to roll for her movement. Nope. And Doc's already maxed out on grit, so it doesn't matter. So, sorry if I'm going a little fast and getting a little scattered at this point. When things get kind of weird, you know, out of order, you know, it happens where there's just one of me. Ooh, that's a fail and a 1. You know what? He'll spend his grit to re-roll. We want to try to get... we need 2 more 6s. In the box would be good. We get 1 more 6. And a 1. And you know what? Bechamel's going to spend a fortune and make a luck test to try to push that 5 to a 6. So let's go ahead and do that. She has a 3, 4, 5 now because she has the Jack of Hearts. She's 1, 5, or 6, and she fails. Crap. And she has no grit to re-roll. She could spend 1 fortune to re-roll one of these, but you know what? That's not worth it. So, sorry. I guess we have to spend 1 more turn. It's a little bit boring. That did get 1 more. So Pete gets another loot card. This is certainly giving us loot. So, and he gets a D3 Darkstone. So that's interesting. So 2 more pieces of Darkstone. Okay. And then it is the next turn. So let's hold back the darkness. Double 3s. Again, the track does not move. But double 3s in we are in the mines at this point. So double 3s is a creeping darkness. Move the darkness 2 steps forward, which would get us a darkness card. Do I have something that can prevent the darkness from moving? I seem to recall I did at some point. But let me check, because that could have been something we just got rid of. Whenever a darkness card is played, Bechamel recovers a grit. +1 max grit in the mines. Nope. There is nothing. Although, actually, you know what? Once per adventure, she can reroll any 1 die. Or she can spend a fortune. So, you know what? She's going to use her lucky hat to reroll 1 of these dice. Instead of dealing with that, we don't really want the darkness to move forward and try to get more stuff. Oh, again, always the case. When we reroll those 1 dice. Fine. All right, darkness moves 2 steps forward. Boom. As crappy as that ends up being. So, do we have Void Hounds or do we have a darkness card? We have Void Hounds. Yay! How many Void Hounds? Probably 3 again. Oh, well, we get 2. 2 Void Hounds. Alright. And they are in ambush, so who are they going to go after? So, 1, 2, 1 on Bechamel. And then on Pete. Okay. So here we go. 6 dice on Bechamel. Oh, sorry. Hold back the darkness because it is a new fight round. Oh no, they actually, because they spawned because of the darkness. So hold back the darkness. So they just actually start. Oh, and everybody needs to take their hits, their horror hits. So there's 4 hits here. Let's do those real quick. Bechamel, Spirit Armor, so she takes nothing. Doc, the 3 or better, saves them all, and Pete takes 2 points of sanity. Okay, good. Get that out of the way. So 4 hits on Bechamel. She needs 4 defense rolls. She fails 2, so she's going to take 2 wounds. That puts her at 6. Okay. Then 6 attacks on Pete. 4 hits. So 4 defense. You guys are able to see this. Yes, okay. So he blocks 3, so he's going to take 1 point of damage. Okay. So, Bechamel. So roll to move. Oh, and yeah. Okay. So I forgot Doc. Sorry, each fight Doc gets to recover a grit, but he hasn't spent his grit yet. He needs to do that. All right. So Bechamel. So she is going to shoot. An 8 and a 1. Alright, so she's got the reroll on the breaching gun because of the inlay. A 2 will fail. So 1 hit, it is a critical. So D8 plus 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5, which negates his armor, so that will automatically kill him. And that lets her recover a fortune point. Oh, and I forgot, she's plus 1 move. You gotta remember that. That was part of her other ability as well. Is she's now plus 1 movement. Did I roll for her move? In fact, did I even roll for her movement? I don't think I did. She does not get a grit, so that's fine. And then she, I think, because it doesn't take a... it doesn't say it uses her turn or something, so she actually has to attempt the chain as well. So there's a corruption hit, which she saves. Doc's turn. So Doc rolls to move. Alright, he's going to step forward. Not that he needs it, but he'll step forward. He will swing. Wow, 3 hits, one of which is a critical. So critical does 8 and just whoops up on him. And then, so catch their breath. Bechamel heals 1. Doc heals 3. Pete gets to do a whole D6, or... yeah, he'll do a D6. He's not going to worry about... getting a grit. So he heals 4. So he's going to take 2 sanity and 2 wounds. And I think we're actually going to trade him the Totem of Dinar, which is the Spirit Armor. Because, he has 4 corruption. And, it might be interesting to get him a mutation. But let's get him a little bit of extra protection to see. Because I am always leery of mutations. And it's a drain on resources if it's not something useful. And then Pete gets to roll, or must roll, his strength. And there is the last 6 that we needed to open the door. Boom. And that is a gate to another world again. And this is my reach. And he gets a loot card. So, and that is a 4th encounter that is taken care of. which is a good thing. And that is 5 of the 8 Void Hounds that we need. So it's going to be kind of 50-50. What do we have? Loot card, right? Yep, loot card for that last 6 for opening the door, which is a gear card. So let me grab a gear from the gear stack. And we get a Mark of the Void. Spend 2 Darkstone to attach to any item, plus 1 damage to Void enemies. Ooh. You know what? I think I would like that. The question is, who wants it? Pete's got the Eagle Feather. And that is on his regular pistol. It's the only thing that has a slot. But it does have 2 slots. So we certainly could slot the Mark of the Void, or it wouldn't be bad for Doc to have it to get him a D8 plus 1. And he could put that on his book, which has 1 slot on it. You know, I think Pete needs it more. And we got plenty of Darkstone, so let's spend 2 Darkstone to attach it to Pete's regular pistol. If we need to reattach it, like I said, we've got plenty of Darkstone at this point. You know, and I've been completely forgetting the Darkstone bullets. Again, I have the card over here, but I only have 1 for the group, and it was anyway. I haven't been playing the plus 1 damage for anybody yet. At this point, I probably shouldn't. I really haven't had to. We've been pretty easy beating up the Void Hounds because we've been getting criticals. So that has not. And these particular ones are not, immune to criticals. So. All right. Hold back the darkness. So a 7 is still good because we have not actually revealed the next tile yet. So Bechamel will actually roll the move. She does not, but she will go ahead and look through, and let's see what we get. Alright, and we find Targa, and it is a frozen path. So, let us put that down like so. Let's get another token. And what have we got? That was Bechamel's turn. So Doc will move 3, so he can go 1, 2, and then Pete needs to see if he gets a grit. He does not. Then he rolls to move, gets a big 6, so he will go 1, 2. Great. That's it. So it's the end of the turn. What have we got? We have 2 exits and 2 encounters. Alright, so we have to hope that these are not 2 remains in play. We have, the first one is a death ritual. So, entering the room, you see a terrified townsperson tied up on a wooden pyre. Before you can reach them, it bursts into flames and they scream, consumed by the magical fires. Shielding your eyes from the heat and blinding light, you are shocked when the whole spectacle vanishes into thin air, a spectral echo of a dark ritual of the past, or maybe the future. Everybody makes a lore 5+ test. If passed, you get 10 experience and you can recover a grit. If failed, take 3 horror hits that do 2 points of sanity damage. Okay, not too bad. Alright, so lore. I think everybody had like a 3 lore. So Bechamel, she passes. She gets to recover a grit. She's already at max fortune, but a grit is nice. Doc is actually a 4 lore because he has the pipe. Oops, and he succeeds, but he's already at max grit. And then Pete, he's a 3 lore, and he failed. You know what? Oh, he has no grit. This is going to be close to the end. Bechamel will spend a fortune point and 5 dice to try to push that 4 up to a 5. Succeeds. So that saves him from having to take any horror hits. Not that it makes a big deal. All right, that is 5 encounters passed there, and then, but we do still have to finish with one more. See what this does. Is a pestilence flies. Again, another kind of wall of text. These new encounters from all the expansions have lots of text. I'll need to pull this away to read it in just a moment. Okay. The buzzing from up ahead is nearly deafening as you get closer, shining light into the room. They are thick with a mass of black flies, swarming around a large carcass. You begin to cough and choke as the disease-ridden insects buzz all around you, getting into your eyes, nose, and mouth. Heroes on this map tile cannot use grit. Each hero takes D3 corruption hits. And then roll a D6. Now let me double check the rules for the mission though. Actually. Let's just double check. When the last encounters are collected, you must defeat any enemies on the board to collect the occult book and read from it, successfully completing your mission. Alright. Well, it doesn't say it immediately ends. I think we do have to finish this, so let me continue. So everybody takes a D3 corruption hits. So Bechamel takes 3. So here's her 3 willpower saves. She fails 1, so she's going to take 1 more point of corruption. Okay. Doc takes 2. He saves both. Alright, and then Pete takes 1. See if you can defend against it, and he does. Good. That I can just see that's just the 1 that makes him mutate. Alright. Then roll a d6. On a roll of 5 or 6, every hero can draw a loot card pulled from the rotting carcass. On a roll of 1 or 2, what you thought was a carcass begins to move and stand ambush attack. Draw a low threat. These enemies are keyword undead and are +1 defense. Alright. So roll 1d6. A 5. So everybody gets to draw a loot card. That is, it remains in play there. But yeah, between the doorway, the gate of Mephistopheles, we get a loot card. So 250 for Bechamel, which is nice. Doc gets a gear card, and Pete gets a d6 times 50, so let's see what he gets. Alright, so he gets another 200. Pretty swell. Pretty swell. Oh, and we get a gear card. So what is the gear card that Doc gets? Grab from the pile. We have a hanging cross, +1 spirit, +1 sanity, holy frontier or outlaw only, attached to an item, +1 spirit, +1 sanity. Well, I mean, you could put it on the book. Give him an extra spirit, I guess. Or Bechamel could take it and put it on the poncho. Give her +1 spirit. Give her a 2 spirit. That's probably not a bad thing. It doesn't weigh anything, so sure. Let's give it to her. All right, folks. Oh, and we succeeded. Actually, we'll save that the end for the start of next session, like usual, as far as rolling for Darkstone, corruption, stuff like that. That is the end of this episode. Again, this is the first time I've ever seen this particular mission finished by encounters and not by void hounds. It still was a close thing. It simply would have taken one more attack or darkness. Having that void lantern certainly kept it easy for us to avoid holding back the darkness. But maybe I should use that more. We take the risk of the sanity damage and just use that a lot more. I'm just a little bit afraid of overdoing it. But Doc does have a 3+ willpower, as well as we had him with the spirit armor for a while too. So, and then just 1 point of potential sanity damage, one sanity horror hit for the other two, isn't really bad. So we may want to just try doing that. You do obviously run the risk of rolling doubles much more often. So, well, anyway, thanks for watching. I don't know if it went fast or slow. I haven't really timed this, but we certainly got through without a lot of fighting, surprisingly. So I got very lucky with drawing the tokens. Even though we did get through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rooms, 6. We were actually on our 6th room. We crossed over into the 8+ territory. So, well, 5th room, 6th tile, because we had that one corner in Cinder. We did get a brief sojourn into Cinder, even though we didn't fight any Cinder enemies. So, anyway, the folks are doing well. I will think about trying to get you some updated stats or something for them. A quick look at them. We'll have to see kind of what my schedule is. Like I said, I do have some family coming in next week, so my time may be a little bit limited, but hopefully I'll be able to get a little bit of time to get the game in and get a town episode in with you guys, and be able to get something thrown together with the character information. Scan their cards in, or otherwise give you a list at least of what items they have and are holding on them, because it is a little bit messy for you, and I'm sure we've gained enough loot and stuff this particular episode as well, certainly, to sort of need to identify what they've got. And, maybe I'll do it at the end of next episode, and see what to try to reflect what they've got after they've bought stuff, because we may actually have enough money to actually buy Pete an upgraded pistol, or Doc probably not the tools. I don't think we have 4,000, but certainly maybe buy him a hatchet or something, something better than the book, and get rid of the holy book. Anyway, thanks again everybody for watching, and I will hopefully see you next week. Bye.